Hey, y'all, come look at this.
I like this. This is cute.
What's going on, Bucket Hat crew? My name's JMT, and welcome to a Deep Night Goggles plus Perk combos video. I had a lot of help from the comments that we had on the community post, and I also had a lot of help in the Discord as well. So thank you to everyone who went ahead and supplied me with your information, and for me to go ahead and share with you guys. The Deep Night Goggles is a gear that recently came out in a few updates of Survive the Night, and this gear is very good, not just for the health bonus that it used to give, but of course it had a little bit of a nerf, so it doesn't give that health bonus anymore. But what we're really going to focus on is the speed portion of these Deep Night Goggles, and actually pairing it with other perks to reach like a certain speed cap, which you can actually reach. We're going to be going by numbers here to actually go ahead and describe what a speed cap is, and the speed cap is going to be 17. That is the speed cap in Survive the Night. So basically we're going to be talking about some of these perks that are going to go with a Deep Night Goggles, which could reach that speed cap or even get close to that speed cap and offer other abilities as well. Deep Night Goggles is a gear inside of Survive the Night that actually help you see ghosts. If you have ghosts next to you, you can turn on the goggles and actually can help you see and find out where spectators are that are in the game. A ghost is a spectator, of course. It's a feature that also just came out in Survive the Night. Instead of sitting in the lobby and spectating a third-person view of whoever is inside of the game still, you can actually hop in as a physical spectating person inside the match and walk around, and you can turn invisible as that ghost, which is why you have these goggles that if you turn on, can help you see ghosts. Once these goggles are activated as well, it does give that speed boost. So let's hop right into some of these combos that you guys had to say. So the first thing that we're going to be talking about, of course, is some speed perks that you can equip with the Deep Night Goggles and actually reaching this max speed cap. So let's go ahead and look at Mr. K's comment here. He said, since the maximum speed you can have is 17, using some of these speed perks like Elusive or Jock will literally just be a downgrade to Versatile, because Versatile is a perk that actually gives more benefits than just a speed type perk. You don't want to use just a perk with these goggles that literally just focus on speed, because it could be a waste if you're going to reach that cap. So Versatile has that same speed but with more benefits, which makes it a good combination in this case. So he does say for his first combo there is Deep Night Goggles and Versatile. However, he also does say that using it with Adrenaline, Legman, or Achilles Feet won't make it any different as well from the other perks that also say increase speed. If you guys do not know any of the perks inside the game that deal with speed, they have different vocabulary terms in it to kind of describe how much speed that this perk will give off. So those three that he mentioned literally won't make any difference from perks that say increase speed because of the speed cap portion. He does go ahead and give off some other perks here as well, actually quite a bit. High Lumen Bulb at the end there, which we will be talking about. Someone else was talking about the High Lumen Bulb that we're going to get into from C Mooncat, but he also gives off some breathing perks, Iron Lungs, Stealth, and even Light-Footed. Basically with these breathing perks, by the way, that we're going to be pairing with the Deep Night Goggles, it's going to be dealing with your volume and the range of it. Volume is how loud breathing can be, and the range, of course, is how far your breathing will sound. So two perks that work really well with these Deep Night Goggles if you want to have that speed bonus, but also be quiet as well in terms of either volume or range, which is why we have Iron Lungs and Stealth there. But let's go back into the topic of High Lumen Bulb. So C Mooncat says if you have Deep Night Goggles and the High Lumen Bulb together, it's pretty OP because it adds a 2 walk speed to your normal speed, and with the perk, it's basically a 2-hit Adrenaline with the camera. Because if you guys don't know what High Lumen Bulb is, basically when you activate your lamp, it does blind the slasher, and then after that also give off effects for you to actually gain speed. So with your normal speed, it'll add it up to that 2 walk speed if we're talking about reaching that max cap speed, of course, like we were saying before. And after that has been activated, if you were to use your High Lumen Bulb, you have that Adrenaline run, and then you only have 25 seconds to spare before your perk actually recharges and you can start the process all over again. So it works out really well with the High Lumen Bulb because it does give off effects after the usage of it, and it also helps as well if you really want to go ahead and gain that little run speed while the slasher is blinded. I've seen a lot of people use High Lumen Bulb and Ghillie when it first came out, the High Lumen Bulb that is. They went ahead, blinded the slasher, and turned Ghillie on right away and actually hit in a box, and the slasher would walk right past them because they had no idea. So having the Deep Night Goggles and High Lumen Bulb on kind of reactivates that little comparison, but you can just get away faster without actually having to hide, which is what some people like to do inside this game. A little while back, I did a stream of Survive the Night with some fans. We went ahead and just played the game and chilled and hung out and stuff, and I was actually using a combination of Kevlar and the Deep Night Goggles, which someone suggested to me, and it was like a living juggernaut. If you guys want to go ahead and hop into into the health portion of this video. We're going to be starting here right now. If you have Kevlar or Thick Skin on, which are the two best health perks, by the way, Seamoon Cat said if you really just want to go ahead and loop and waste the slasher's time, this perk's speed disadvantage would be removed with a whopping speed bump as fast as Legman or Adrenaline together, but it has the health as well to add the power. You're basically a juggernaut, like what I just said before. So to kind of throw all of that into a nutshell, basically, if you have Kevlar or Thick Skin on, you're going to be having that adrenaline speed, but with all of that hits as well. I'm pretty sure Kevlar is the best health perk that offers like the amount of hits to be applied to you, but Thick Skin offers, I think, one less hit, but that little speed bonus as well, which is why I think I would rather use Kevlar if we are even just getting a speed bonus from using the DNG, but Thick Skin would actually increase that speed bonus as well, but you'd just be a one less of a hit. If we are using Kevlar like I did in the stream, that was also back when there was a health mod added to the Deep Night Goggles, but I think that's been removed. You're still probably going to be a walking juggernaut, even though it's just going to be removing a 1 or 2 hit. I think I was like a 7 hit when the health mod was added onto the Deep Night Goggles, when it was like first originally on there. But right now, since that's been removed, you're probably still going to be a 5 hit with using the Kevlar perk. However, you will just be running like you have Adrenaline as well. So it makes for a very good combination. The Deep Night Goggles, guys, I'm going to say right now, just use it for the speed portion, okay? A lot of people are going ahead and saying, well, you can't really use this combos anymore. That the gear kind of downgraded because removing the health part. No, none of that, okay? None of that. It's literally the speed part that you can actually compare with certain perks that can help you inside the game so much. I've seen a lot of people go ahead and actually try to compare some of these perks and combos to add together and gear, and it's a bunch to unwrap, but hopefully I am helping you guys out a little bit to go ahead and actually use some certain combinations with the Deep Night Goggles to be better in the game, of course. We went ahead and talked about some speed perks that you could use, some breathing perks that you could use, some health perks that you can use. Let's go ahead and hop into actually 2 other specific perks here that are also a little bit new that work really well with the Deep Night Goggles, and that is the Threat Sensor and the Old Pirate Bag. The Threat Sensor perk basically makes your lamp a living tracker. Your lamp will beep depending on how far you are from the slasher. However, that's not the only thing the Threat Sensor does. If you use the Deep Night Goggles and Threat Sensor here from Mr. R, you gain the speed bonus when the gear is activated, but you also get another speed bonus from the perk if your lamp actually starts to beep, and it actually helps you in locating and actually detecting where the slasher is from you, so you can pretty much rotate away from the slasher at all costs with that big speed buff that you get from using both the perk and even the gear. It's a combination that I think a lot of people who main the tracker, even the Merchant's tracker as well, people who actually learn stud distance, I think they will like this combination and use it to their advantage. But let's hop into the Old Pirate Bag, which is actually a perk I never thought about using with the goggles here. But Mr. Jard here says you're a 2 hit to kill, and you get that 16 walk speed, which is actually 1 less from reaching the max cap inside of Survive the Night. And you also get a 60% chance to avoid detection no matter where you are on the map, which is over 50%. That's over half of actually being detected. And that is a very good chance inside of a game like this. So not only are you a 2 hit to kill, but you are almost max speed cap, and you are avoiding detection as well from the slasher. So the Old Pirate Bag, which is a merch perk, it's supposed to go with a specific merch gear, but you can actually use it with the goggles, and it works out very well. This is something I think I will probably use, the Old Pirate Bag and the goggles, because of course you're not reaching that certain speed cap, which I mean is very well, but with that speed cap, you're still not actually being able to go ahead and actually escape from the slasher if he is in line of sight with you. This gives you a 2 hit, and it also gives you that detection to avoid. So if you do know where the slasher is and you know maps pretty well to actually rotate and stay away from him without actually using like the Threat Sensor, which is that tracker like we said before, I think the Old Pirate Bag would work out really well. But with everything that we talked about inside of this, with the Old Pirate Bag and the Threat Sensor and the High Lumen Bulb, and then of course those speed perks, the breathing perks, and the health perks, there's a bunch of stuff to go ahead and actually decide what you guys should use, and basically on your playstyle of how you'd want to play. There's a bunch of stuff that we talked about in this video for you guys to use on your certain playstyles, which is actually another thing I wanted to go ahead and get into. Certain playstyles, guys, use these perks that we just talked about and try to insert them into how you play inside the game. And if you want to learn a new playstyle as well, this would be a perfect time to do so. I think the Deep Night Goggles could be a great gear to go ahead and actually represent a pattern and represent a little playstyle for you to learn if you want to learn a new playstyle, that is. If you really want to go ahead and actually try to test out new things with the health or the breathing or the speed or whatever that is with the other perks that can actually be attached to this and giving you either detection or blinding and stuff like that, I think that this Deep Night Goggles is going to be perfect for those players. And of course, guys, these are not the only perks that you can use that would work really well with the Deep Night Goggles, but from looking at all of the combos and all of the comments and all the suggestions from people, I think that these perks would work really well with the deep night goggles, and I chose these specific few to go ahead and actually review because I think they would work out really well for anyone's playstyle. So that's the main reason, and that's also why I took another day or two to go ahead and make this video, because there were so many choices, of course. But anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for me. My name's JMT, and I'll see you in the next one. Have fun, guys.